So I'm going to go into primer, and I'm actually going to be using two. The first one is this bronzing primer from Bourjois, and I find that this is really great for if you have tan on and you kind of want to match your face to your body. This is perfect for that. And then I may also take the Prime It Illuminating Face Primer from Technique. I think I got this from TK Maxx. This face primer is kind of like a toned down version of L'Oreal's Lumi Magique. Just in the sense that it does illuminate your face quite a bit. But I feel like it's very sticky, which is a good thing, but you have to work it in pretty quickly. And for this bronzing primer, I like to take a brush and just literally dab it in and then pop this on my cheeks. For foundation, I will be using the L'Oreal Infallible 24-Hour Foundation in the shade of 145 Beige Rose. And I feel like this is going to be an okay match for me. So just in buffing motions like this, I'll just be tapping it in. And then occasionally just swiping down so that the hair on your face runs downwards, which will going to give you a bit more of a flawless finish. I haven't been filming any new videos for quite some time now. I have gone back to university, which it's my third year, so it's pretty intense so far anyway, so I'm not too sure what the last few months are going to be like. But yeah, I just kind of, I don't know, I steered away from the fact that I wanted to film videos, and I was like, I haven't got time because it is such a long time with filming and then editing and then uploading as well, and it is just very time consuming, but I absolutely love doing it. So I made myself get up today and was like, I'm gonna film some videos. I feel like I really wanted to bring something new to the table for you guys instead of just doing the classic smoky eye, because I feel like people get bored of that sometimes, or I do anyway. So for concealer, I'll be using the Lasting Finish concealer from Rimmel. This is really good, and it almost reminds me of the MAC Studio Fix concealer. I think I'm gonna have a go and say Fix or Sculpt. It might be the Studio Sculpt one actually. But this one is just a bit more oilier. It's a bit more easier to work in. I'm having, you know, a really crappy time with my health at the minute, and I kind of don't want to talk about it too much, but I kind of feel like if you talk about it, it makes everything that much better. But anyway, I've just quickly concealed those areas of my face, and I'm going to be using a different trick actually. I'm going to be using a cream contour today, and then I'm going to buff it all together with another bronzing product. So to cream contour, I've never done this before, so you guys are going to have to be really patient with me, but this is a contour, but this here is a contour kit from Aesthetica Cosmetics. I'll put everything in my blog post down below, and I'll also be using their brush as well. These are all vegan and cruelty free, by the way. I actually was thinking the other day, I do not contour, like, at all. I don't know why. I am not too sure as to why. That's why I felt a bit like doing a bit of contouring today. So I'll also be using that just above my forehead. I'm not going to go anything too nuts with that. And I use the other brush just to blend everything together. Going back to what I was saying earlier, I kind of think that talking about it is definitely one of the best processes for kind of getting over it. But I deal with panic attacks a bit more often than I would like. And I had an issue the other night where I had to go into A&E, which is the Accident and Emergency Unit. And I basically thought that I was having a heart attack. And with my family history of heart attacks, of heart problems, literally most of my family have heart problems, which is not cool, but we've got very strong hearts at that. I thought that maybe I was having some heart issues, so my instant reaction was to go into A&E just in case. And luckily enough, it wasn't my heart. I had an ECG, I had blood tests, and my troponin, I think it's called, levels were okay. They're about 14, so it didn't signal anything of a heart attack. And I spoke to the doctor, and he seemed to think that either I had something wrong with my lungs, and then he looked at the results again, and he basically said that that wasn't the case, but that was his first reaction. And anyway, he said to me, he said, if you had any issues in the past with anxiety or any other panic attacks, and I had said yes, and he seems to think that I had panic disorder, which is where you just basically have panic attacks for no given reason. Your mind just goes into overload. And the thing is, for a good 3 hours I was having this panic attack, and I convinced myself I was going to die. And my palms were sweaty, I couldn't stop, my breathing went really strange, I had this pain in my chest, and it was just horrible, and I thought I was going to die. And I could probably cry about it now, to be quite honest, but I just don't know, I just had no idea why. And he came to the conclusion that I had panic disorder. But anyway, that's done, and I don't think I did too bad of a job with it. It may look a bit dirty later on, so we'll look at that. I'm just going to set this with my Rimmel Stay Matte powder, just over my eyeballs, just to set that concealer from earlier. And I feel like it's not too much of intense contour, but we'll work with it. Blush, I'll use the pink Sprint palette here, and the shade I'll be using is Pink Teeny. No, Pink Parfait, which is this colour here. Just because it is slightly on the mauve side. For highlight, I'll be using something that is brand new, and this is the Glow highlighter from H&M. This is really nice. It's golden, but it's slightly pinky as well. This is from eBay. I get a lot of questions about that. Wait a minute, where's my mirror? I need a mirror for this shit. So I'll just put that down the bridge of my nose, on the end of my nose as well. So for the eyebrows, I will be using the Brow Archery pencil from Soap and Glory in Hot Chocolate. And just using this spoolie, I will brush up my eyebrows, just at this front part here, brushing upwards, and then swooping to the side. I'll start just by lifting the brow up and then filling in the bottom part. And I feel like the same with eyes, you have to blend as you go. Put in a few sparse hairs. Oh shit, that went way too hard. So, focusing on the eyes, I did prep them earlier because I used concealer and then I just powdered them afterwards. I'll be using this, what is this? The Naked Chocolate palette from I Heart Makeup, which is part of the Makeup Revolution range. And quite honestly, I am really surprised that I am using a palette other than the Cocoa Blend palette. But anyway, so I will be going into the shade Toblerone, a Zoeva 221 Soft Luxe Crease Brush. And I'm just putting that into the crease. I like this one because I feel like it applies the product like a bit more directly than the MAC 217. But I will use that afterwards. Then to build up the colour, I will be using Sweet Shop, which is a bit more of a warmer colour. And again, putting this just over the top. Doing the same circular motions and sweeping. This is the pencil brush from Nema Cosmetics, taking the burgundy shade, which is Chalk Fest, just there. And I'll be carefully just popping that into the socket of my eye. Don't worry about it being too messy because we will blend afterward. Okay, and then taking probably my favourite colour from this palette, which is Adorable, this shade here, I'm going to wet the brush with a bit of Fix Plus, or the oil you can get from Makeup Revolution, and I'll be putting this on my eye. And just to make the look pop, I will be taking that same colour, but kind of in our inner tear duct, but then swiping it upwards. Just because I think this adds so much dimension to the look. I don't know whether to keep it like this or to add a bit of the colour underneath. But anyway, I'm going to take whatever's left on that 217 brush and just spontaneously put this underneath. Just realised this palette actually smells like chocolate. So now going into my BH Cosmetics palette, I'm looking at this line of purples here. So I will be picking up this shimmery, how have I showed you? The shimmery shade there, and then a plonk of that. And I'll be putting this under my lower lash line. And I find it, the brush is like the best one to use for this to keep that colour there but make sure it softly blends out, is the 221 Luxe Soft Crease Brush. And picking up any lilac shade, I'll be using this just to blend it out. So I have just gone in with eyeliner, and I'm actually going to go back into this sleek palette here, which is Pink Sprint. And taking that very luminous pink colour, I am just going to dust that underneath the eye. This is really electric. I'm starting to like this. By the way, because I was using gel liner, I couldn't like film at the same time. Now for mascara and lashes, I'll be taking the Miss Manga L'Oreal mascara, and also these lashes which are from Vegas Nay, and I can't remember what they're called, but I'll put it down below. Now for the lips, I'll be using a Colourpop Ultra Matte lip colour, and this is in the shade of Trap. This is very like a mauve colour, and if you are in the UK, I did purchase this in the UK, and I'll put a link where you can buy them. And this is the finished look. So I really like this. I think it's very vampy. It's very drama. I'm sorry I'm really up in your face at the minute, but I love this look so much. So this was the finished look. I hope you enjoyed it. It's a little bit different compared to what... Hang on, let me just get my pony. So it's a little bit different to what I usually do, but I quite like it. It's quite grungy looking, quite fun, and I also think that the colours are just really nice, and this lip colour is just to die for. I love it. So thank you so much for watching today, and I'm sure this is going to be a long ass video, but who cares? So yeah, I shall see you in my next video. Bye!